G'day, I'm Owen. You've joined the pub test, and if you are here just to get some YouTube tips, then welcome. But if you're one of the returning viewers and just want to have a quick look behind the scenes of the pub test and what goes into making the videos, then welcome back. Now, I have to say that I'm not selling anything. I'm not offering coaching. These are just my observations from starting a channel in 2024 and where I'm at right now, and some of the information that would have been handy for me to know as I launched forth. Because if you start a YouTube channel, your homepage will be flooded with plenty of people offering advice. Some of it is quite useful, but some of it you just can't make any sense of. And also, it can be very, very conflicting. If you don't have too much help as regards the production of your videos and editing, then you might be interested in some of these tips. If you've got a full production team behind you, then you probably don't have the worry that most of us do. But point number one is just start. Do a video and upload it. Probably not your best idea with your channel, but do something. For example, take a look at a clip from one of my very early videos, and I know returning viewers to the pub test most likely haven't seen it either, because this video is still in double-digit views. Now, it has been said that truth is stranger than fiction, and I agree with that in some instances. But as a fiction writer myself, I take a slight aversion to fully endorsing that statement. It's more that a fiction writer couldn't write some of the rubbish that we hear, because people would straight away say, that's just totally not true. So what did you think of that? The shadows in the background, the framing, and even the low energy. But the point there is, you don't know what you don't know until it's pointed out to you. So you've got to start. Do something, and then analyze it and see where it can improve. And you're going to have some fun along the way. For example, this happened while I was doing a recording. Well, let's look at the victims to start with. Now, I've not gone into too much detail about the victims in this series as of yet. But as we know, Polly Nichols... I just lost me button. No. I just lost my button to my jacket. And that's when I was presenting what I really thought of the Jack the Ripper saga. So I was getting right into it, and then a button flew off my jacket. And if you look at that video closely, you will notice at the start of the video, the jacket's a little bit tighter around here. And then ever since then, it's been a bit wider. Did actually make me want to go on a bit of a health kick and look after myself a little bit better, and this jacket would do up quite nicely now. I've fixed that issue of popping the button. I just haven't fixed that button yet, but I am getting around to that. That's on the list of things to do. Now, point number two, the equipment. Now, if you're doing content like me, where you are standing in front of the camera, you obviously need a webcam. If you're faceless, you probably don't even need a webcam. And I watch a few YouTubers that I've never seen. You hear their voice. But you'll note that in some of my videos at the start, at one point the camera quality improved a little. So I did upgrade my webcam to a Logitech StreamCam. And the reason for that was it just gave me a little interface within the program where I could just adjust the camera around, up and down and so forth. So I didn't have to try and get the little webcam moving it around on the top of the monitor. Now, something like that will not blow the budget. And when I hit 100 subscribers, at the time of recording this, I was sitting at 394, so I'm not a big channel by any stretch of the imagination. But when I hit 100 subscribers, I said, I'm going to lash out and get myself a green screen, which also wasn't super expensive. It was nothing more than a projector screen, just green, so you can hang it on the wall and just pull it down and pull it up when you're using it. And then I could start putting backgrounds up, which I think has improved the videos. But again, it was nothing that was going to break the bank. I didn't have to invest thousands of dollars. The microphone, I actually purchased at a computer game convention called PAX in Melbourne in 2023. So if anyone was at PAX, give me a shout out in comments. But they had this microphone on sale. But it's nothing super fancy either. It's a condenser mic, and I would say that that's important. You want a condenser microphone, but it's only USB. It's not going through a mixer. It goes straight through the OBS software, which I use to record the videos. But out of the three, the camera, the green screen, or the microphone, if you've got a limited budget, where should you invest your money? Well, in my opinion, in the microphone. If you've only got a headset with a little microphone and that headset costs you about $20 from the cheap shop, the sound quality most likely won't be up to scratch. So if you are limited in what you can spend, get the best microphone you can get. Because when people listen on headphones, that is important, because otherwise it can turn people off. And actually, I'm hoping when I hit 1,000 subscribers to upgrade the microphone. I've seen the one that I want, but that is down the track. The point being is you don't need a great deal of equipment to get started, and it won't break the bank. Now, the third thing is people tell you to be consistent, but what on earth does that mean? Does it mean you got to be uploading every day? Well, YouTube says to get monetized, and if that's your goal, you need to upload 3 videos in a 90-day period. So that's 1 video every month. Because if you're doing scenery in the background with some nice, easy music to listen to, you probably don't need to upload a video every day. In fact, 1 a month may do it. I actually myself, when I'm editing, will have one of those types of YouTube channels up, and I'm just listening to some slight background music because I just can't stand total silence when I'm sitting at the computer, but I don't want talking or anything which is distracting me from what I'm trying to focus on. So that would be perfectly fine if you're doing something like that. If you're doing a gaming channel, well, you might need to be uploading a bit more frequently than once a month. But the consistency is, for YouTube's sake, are you actually going to be around? They're not going to push you forward or pay you any money if you're just a flash in the pan. You're here one day and they don't see you again for 6 months. The fourth one is test your audio and video before you launch forth and do a big recording. Now, if you are faceless, it's probably just test your audio, but make sure the settings are right. Do a test. I would say it's about 7 times out of 100 videos where I've sat down to do the edit only to find out something has gone wrong with the record. Either the sync is out, so my voice and my video don't match up, or the sound is just terrible because somehow the computer's bumped up my microphone volume to the max and it picks up everything in the room. And just a 30-second test, doing a testing, 1, 2, 3, jam the headphones on, listen to it, check it, tickety-boo, good to go, start recording. Doesn't take much, and it does save that frustration. And it can be disheartening because you think, oh, now I've got to do all of that again. And it could have been a brilliant record. The fifth point, don't assume you know. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's only been very recently that YouTube have started giving me more insights into what is driving traffic through the channel. And it was very eye-opening. Because just take a look at a clip here. G'day, I'm Owen, and you've joined this week's episode of the Pub Test, where we are continuing our Jack the Ripper Suspect series. And in this one, we are looking at Edgar Degas. Now, that is from my most watched video on this channel. And that really surprised me because I had not done a great deal of research on Edgar Degas. My green screen was fairly new, and you saw my framing was terrible. I was just basically in front of the camera and you could see the green outline because I didn't know about the D-spill in DaVinci Resolve, which I use for editing. Notice OBS and DaVinci are also free, so you don't need to pay for any major editing apps or recording software. But I didn't know anything about that. I was still learning as I went along, and yet that video still is getting views today. And it's by far and away my most successful video, and I could not work out why. I didn't think the content in itself was absolutely brilliant. The framing was woeful. But then I found out, only in the last week, that people are going to that video because they're searching YouTube with Jack the Ripper Edgar Degas in one sentence. So my video comes up. Because not all of those people have converted to going and watching more of my channel. But it says the one video that is driving traffic into the channel is Jack the Ripper, the true story. That video, I did put a lot of work into, because that's been a theory of mine for a very long time. And I worked my way up, leaving ideas as to where I was headed in the earlier videos. And so to me, that makes sense, that would drive more traffic through my channel. But the thing is, I didn't know any of that until it was shown to me. And I'm still surprised about some of the data. So when you're sitting there looking at your videos thinking, why is this one not working and why is that one working? Don't overanalyze it. And you need to be resilient, which is point number 6. What do I mean by that? Well, it often holds people back from starting. Now, we've covered just start, but what holds people back as a general rule? Well, they're worried about how they will be perceived. If you think everything you do is perfect and you just launch forth, well, that's good for you. But for the rest of us that are just a little bit concerned about, will people like what I do? Well, they just think I'm a total idiot and what I'm doing is rubbish. And some people might think that regardless of how good you are. That can hold you back from doing anything. Fortunately for me, I'd already got over that hurdle. In writing books and then publishing them for anyone in the world to read, you are open to criticism. And that first time when you click publish, you are nervous because all of a sudden it's like, I've put all this work in. What are people going to think? But that's the thing. You need to be resilient to that feedback. If someone's over complimentary, well, you probably want to rein that back a bit. If someone is absolutely slamming you, just try and maybe bring that also further to the center and find the point that you could work on in it. Don't take everything to heart. And you will find those people out there that say, you know what? I actually enjoy what you do. And finally, the 7th point. This is more of a life lesson. I am not a life coach, but I do believe in this fairly strongly, and it's called the 1% rule. And that is, if you are trying to make improvements in anything, whether it be lifestyle, whether it be your job, whether it be YouTube or writing or whatever you're doing in life, try and improve each day by 1%. So each video I look at and think, is there an avenue I can work on right now? Might be editing. It might be content. And you think, well, 1%'s not much, Owen. Why am I wasting my time? But it's cumulative. Did you remember that first clip that I showed at the start of this video? The content isn't the same now. And I'm intrigued to see what the next 100 videos will bring as I do that 1% and try and make those incremental changes. And why is that important? Because incremental change is lasting change. You don't want to be on that slide up the hill, slide down the hill. So at the end of the day, often the question is asked though, is YouTube worth it? And I would answer, for me, absolutely 100%, and I am here for the long haul. Why? Because I enjoy doing it. It's still a hobby. I'm not monetized. There's videos out there to show you how to get 4,000 watch hours, which is also a little hurdle to get monetized. And I've got way more than 4,000 watch hours. Heaps more than 4,000 watch hours. But you need 1,000 subscribers, and that's my bottleneck at the moment. So if you have enjoyed this and you're still around here and you haven't done so, help someone out, give us a sub. But if you are out to make your fame and fortune, well, you might. And if you know of people that have done that just from a couple of videos, then let me know down in comments. But for the vast majority of us, it is a long haul. Now, I started the YouTube channel to promote my books, and now it's sort of grown into something else that I'm just enjoying. And even if I do get that book deal, I'll still be doing the pub test. But both my writing and the pub test are still hobbies for me. But, you know, some people play golf, some people go fishing. I enjoy my creative things like writing and doing the YouTube. So a piece of advice given to me when writing, they said, if you are writing to make money, that will show in what you're doing, and it just won't work. But if you write because you enjoy it, well, that'll come out in your writing. And I think that's very true of YouTube. If you enjoy what you're doing, the results really don't matter. All the views, all the subs, all the comments, well, they're a bonus. And trust me, that is a great bonus. And thank you to all you Pub Test viewers, subscribers, and commenters. You are genuinely appreciated. So that's the 7 things that I would have liked to have known before I started a YouTube channel. I have learnt these things or reinforced these ideas along the way. And yes, the pub test will be around for quite some time yet. If you are interested, the next video will be out in a few days, and we are going back into that deep dive around the crime scenes of Jack the Ripper. So keep an eye out for that one. I'm Owen, you've been watching the pub test, and we will see you on the next one.